awesome world. It's your girl Anna, and in today's video I want to talk about just some recent health issues that I've been going through, and I decided that I want to tell my story and kind of document it and turn it into a little series on my channel. So that is what this video is going to be. A couple of disclaimers first before we get into it is that this is just my personal experience. I'm not trying to give any kind of medical advice or anything like that, and any of the resources that I do mention in this video I will put in the description box below if you want to check them out on your own. And I'm not taking credit for any of the information that I found out from these resources, so I just want to provide like where I have gotten them from, so you can always do your own research and looking into it. And another kind of trigger warning, I am going to talk about kind of weight changes, bodily functions, kind of those kind of things. So if any of that is triggering or grosses you out or anything like that, this is your warning now. So that is that. So without further ado, let's get into my story. So starting from the beginning, just to give a little bit of context, growing up, I didn't really have any issues with my health that I remember. I did have a lot of body image issues. I always thought that I was bigger than I was and considered myself like the fat friend, even though like I really wasn't. I was pretty active growing up. I played soccer my whole life, and like looking back now, I feel like I was like relatively fit, but I did have a lot of body image issues because I felt like I had to like hide my body. I wasn't allowed to like wear certain clothes, and so it gave me a lot of, you know, body image issues. Into my college years, I was also still pretty active. I walked to class every day. I went on hikes and did things with my friends. I joined the rugby team when I was in college, and I got really fit when I was playing rugby just through practice and things like that. I did also have a plethora of food options available to me on campus, so I had a meal plan and everything, so food was definitely readily accessible, and I didn't really, you know, cook. I just ate the food on campus, which probably wasn't like the most healthy stuff, so I definitely did gain like the freshman 15, maybe a little more than that, but like in the general like scheme of things, like I was still like relatively healthy. I still like didn't like the way that my body looked, but now like looking back then versus how I am now, like I wish that I had appreciated it more and like want to be kind of at that same health then versus now, which we'll kind of get into my story. So moving on to post-college, when I felt like my health really started to decline. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was trying to get into PT school. I was living with my boyfriend and his brother, which was not a very good living situation. So in other words, I was in a lot of stress through all of that, and stress does do a lot of things to your body. So from that, I started like gaining a lot of weight, I noticed. And there's literally like 2 pictures that I like remember very vividly of me wearing like the same sweatshirt like 2 years apart. So I'll put them here for reference. And that was when I like really started to like notice that I was like gaining a lot of weight. So then moving forward, I did get into physical therapy school, going through a breakup and getting back together. And then the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And that all was within like 6-7 months of each other. So let's just say that the stress just got like even worse, which was not good for my health. But then because I was working towards becoming a future physical therapist, which I am now, spoiler alert, I really wanted to make sure that I was living a healthy life because I didn't want to, you know, go into working as a physical therapist and, you know, telling my patients, you know, how to, you know, get better when like I didn't feel that as well. So I really tried to prioritize my health because I didn't, you know, I wanted to lose weight, I wanted to be healthier, so I tried all kinds of things. I'd been on different diets here and there. You know, we've tried counting calories and, you know, restricting our diet and things like that. Also tried going on keto, which I have a whole series on my channel of when I tried the keto diet, which was awful. It was not good, spoiler alert if you haven't watched that, but I got the keto flu for like days and I felt like absolute shit like the whole time, and it was not good. So started trying to work out both at home and at the gym, but just wearing a mask for safety because it was still during COVID times, but it just didn't seem like anything was working. And then keto caused like other health symptoms to happen with me. I started getting heart palpitations. I started having muscle weakness. Like I couldn't even like do a squat or go up my stairs without like shaking. It was really bad. So then I ended up going to see a doctor because of all of that. They did some blood work. I had an EKG done because I had some abnormal heart sounds, and then they also checked my thyroid. And what I found out from all of that was that I was deficient in a lot of nutrients, and so they gave me like a bunch of supplements to be on, but my heart and my thyroid came back as normal. So I didn't really do anything about that. And we'll kind of go into that a little bit later as well. So yeah, despite that, like being on the supplements definitely helped with my symptoms. Like I didn't have heart palpitations or the muscle weakness anymore being on that. So it definitely helped with that. But as far as the weight gain goes, like I still was overweight. I lost about 10 pounds being on keto, but once I stopped keto, I just gained it all right back anyway, and it definitely was not worth it in my opinion. So like currently I'm at the heaviest weight that I've ever been in my life, and you know, I don't want to be that weight anymore. And then the next big thing that I contribute to my health issues is that I stopped taking hormonal birth control. And that in of itself came with a ton of issues. So I started breaking out like horribly on my face. I started having hair loss, which I also have a whole video about my hair loss journey, which I do mention a little bit about the hormones. You know, at the time, like I didn't know how much of an impact it had. So if you want to learn more about that specific journey, I'll link that video as well, because I do currently have hair extensions in because my hair loss was so bad that I cut my hair and got extensions. So that's that. Then I also didn't realize at the time, but I'd been having pretty bad diarrhea for probably the past few years, until I kind of started looking into more things. I didn't really realize it. Yeah, I usually have to go to the bathroom like 2 or 3 times in the morning, even before leaving for work. And it just like became such a habit that I didn't realize that like that's not normal. And I also have like a really bad bloating. Like every time I eat, no matter what I eat, like I get bloated. I usually get like a stomach ache, and I feel like I feel and look pregnant like all the time, and I'm definitely not and have never been. So, but I just feel like tightness, and it's just like protruded like really bad. So the things that I have tried to do to solve these issues. I have tried so many supplements. I've been on Athletic Greens AG1 supplement for about a year and a half, as well as their D and K droplets. I've been on omega-3. I've tried, multivitamins and, things like that. And I've also been on a hair supplement called Hair Love. And there's definitely like all kinds of things that I have tried. And, while I think they like may help a little bit, I'm still like not having any like relief of my symptoms. And for my acne, my face acne, I have gone to see my esthetician. So I have a couple videos of like when I've like gone to get a facial and stuff like that. So I have a really great esthetician that I see here in Phoenix. I'll put her information down below if you're in the area. She's amazing. She helped me a lot with my face acne. She recommended a brand called Face Reality that I use. I have a cleanser, a toner. I use their peptide cream and an SPF like every day. That has helped a lot. Like I still get acne, especially when I get closer to my period, which I'll go into in a minute, but it definitely like took a long time to kind of get better. But I also have acne on my body as well in certain areas, and I have tried a ton of things to work on that, and that's something that I'm really self-conscious about. Like I don't feel comfortable wearing a swimsuit or certain clothes because like I'm just really self-conscious about it. My esthetician actually is the one that told me that it could be a gut issue, and that was the first time that I had really thought about it that way, that things that look on the outside are really about things that are going on the inside. So that was the first kind of red flag for me related to my gut. Then some other things that I have tried was I got a personal trainer for 6 months to try to help with the weight loss, and mostly for like motivation, because like I told her, it's not that I don't know how to exercise. My literal entire career is based on exercise, but it's just like the motivation. Like I don't have the motivation to like go work out, but if I had like an appointment that I had to be at, I'd be like, okay, now I have to work out. And so we did, our thing for 6 months. I took in-body scans like every month, I think, and I just didn't really see a significant change. I did plan on making a whole video about my personal training experience, but I didn't end up like posting it, so I might put in some of the clips here just for reference and to have it be somewhere so those videos don't exist for no reason. So if I do that, we'll have a little break here for those videos.
Do I feel like it was like worth it? I don't know, like honestly, for the amount of like money that training is, like on top of my gym membership itself, like I don't know if I really feel like it was worth it. And nothing against my trainer, like if on the off chance that she sees this, like literally love her to death. She's so sweet, like she was amazing. Like I just think in the general sense, like I don't know, I'm on the fence, I guess. I don't really I'm like neutral about it. I don't know, because like I see like some benefit, like I said, like it got my foot in the door, it made me work out. Like I did like it better that I had 2 sessions a week. I feel like when I only had the one, it didn't really work out too well, and maybe that's why like I didn't really get that much progress, because as a physical therapist, I'm not a very good like patient or client or whatever you want to call it. So I do realize that like I did not do enough on my own. I fully take like responsibility for that. So I'm not saying anything against the training, but these last few weeks that I've had it twice a week, I definitely feel like it was better than just coming the once. So anyway, I'm just basically rambling now, and I gotta get home. So anyway, I guess we'll end this here, and I don't know, like I said, if that was really made any sense or helpful at all. So
being off birth control, I read a book called Beyond the Pill, which gave me a lot of good information. I also had a call with Dr. Saru Bala. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I also got a cycle syncing program from Bri Kuznik. And I will link all of their Instagrams and resources down below for you. But through all of those resources, I started to learn more about hormone health and the effect that they have like on the body, and started implementing some of their advice. First of which, I started switching to non-toxic products. So I switched to a natural deodorant, which if you haven't done that, it is a process. Like, it's something that takes time for your body to adjust. I first tried like non-aluminum deodorants, but they just cause like rashes and all kinds of issues. And then like I didn't feel like it like didn't mask my body odor, which is like the whole point of deodorant. So currently I use a brand called Just Ingredients. I actually use that brand for a lot of the things that I started switching over because they're very clean and like natural. So I use their deodorant and I haven't had any issues with rashes. I feel like it, you know, contains my odor and everything. I do have to sometimes apply it multiple times, but other than that, I have really liked using that product. I've also switched from using candles to a brand called Azuna, which is a natural odor eliminator. So I have like their little glass things and you put like this gel in it and it helps to kind of deodorize. I think that's been helping a lot. And I also try to use like fragrance-free stuff as much as I can. So like my lotions, I don't use perfume, things like that, like because fragrance can like cause a lot of hormonal imbalance. So I know that that sounds kind of like wacky hippie crap, but it actually did work for me. So when I first got off of birth control, I didn't have a period for like 6 months. And once I started implementing some of these advice, strategies, whatever you want to call them, my period started coming back. Period still isn't normal. It's a little bit longer than it should be. I've been tracking it using my health app on my phone, and it's about 40 days. Like I said, it's a little bit longer, but it has been like relatively consistent. And so I've noticed that when I do use the app, like it'll say like, oh, like period predicted, and it's like relatively close, like within like I'd say like a week of when I do actually start my period. And that was what I was first starting to get all of this information about, is because I stopped birth control, I had all these symptoms, and then I didn't have a period, and I was like, that's not normal, like that should not happen. So that's kind of what snowballed, you know, a lot of this research. So now that my period has been a little bit more consistent, I started looking more into that because a lot of my other symptoms haven't changed. So my bloating, my weight, my hair loss, things like that, like I'm still having, even though like I'm starting to get more of a consistent period. So then I started learning about the relationship between your hormones and your gut health. I started going down kind of that rabbit hole a little bit more. First of all, I found another supplement called Emma Gut Relief, and I've been using that for a few weeks, and at first I didn't really see much difference, but usually with anything you have to take it for at least like a month or more to really see significant change. But I did notice that I didn't take it for a few days and my symptoms definitely got worse not on it. I had more body acne, I had more diarrhea, more bloating, things like that. So I think it did help a little bit, but still not like solving my problem. Then the other thing that I did was I got updated lab work done, because I hadn't had any updated blood work done since I had that whole issue after having keto, flu, and all of that. So I just got some updated blood work and I recently got the results back, and pretty much most of my things came back as normal. It's like I have high cholesterol, but everything else, like my hormones and everything, it did show that I had low testosterone was the only thing that it was like out of range, but everything else came back as normal. According to them, like I haven't had an actual like consultation with my doctor since getting my results, but usually they're like, oh, everything came back normal, or like clearly there is something not normal going on like with these symptoms. So that leads me to what I found currently is a program called Atlas Functional Wellness. I found them through an Instagram ad that came up on my phone. I watched their video and I was like, this makes so much sense. I was like, this is exactly what I need. They provide like functional labs. So it's a different type of lab work that goes into more details about like your actual gut health. And I was like, that's what I need. Like, I know now with all of the like research and stuff that I've done that like something is definitely going on with my gut that is also causing like hormonal imbalance and like all these things. Is kind of just like a snowball effect. But like what they like describe in their videos like just made so much sense. And they use this analogy where if you have a glass of muddy water and you have a glass of clean water, so the muddy water is your gut issues, like, you know, whatever is going on with your gut, and then the clean water is the things that I've been trying, so the supplements and probiotics and all those kind of things. If you're putting that into the muddy water, it's just gonna get like a little less muddy, but it's not gonna actually like solve the problem. So to actually like solve the problem, get clean water, you have to take the mud out and then supply it with clean water. And I was like, that makes so much sense. Like, I need to know what the actual root cause of my problem is, besides just taking all these different supplements and doing all of these things and just kind of like masking like my symptoms, but not actually fixing them. That is pretty much what I'm gonna start to do. So I'm not gonna divulge too much into the specifics of the program because just for confidentiality reasons, I don't wanna divulge any of their secrets or anything, but I do wanna like document my like personal journey with this that I'm going on. So that's kind of the purpose of making, this kind of first video, kind of explaining where I'm at, what I've been through to get where I am today. And then as the series goes on, explain kind of what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and things like that. That's kind of what we're gonna be doing. So that is my journey so far. So basically the purpose of wanting to do this is just to be healthy, to not feel like crap every day, to have more energy, and just like, I want to feel like my best self, if that makes sense. Like, I'm tired of feeling crappy and groggy and all kinds of stuff. And the stuff that I've tried, like I said, has helped. Like, I've been starting to walk every day, drink more water, things like that are still good for my health. But I think once I start to actually like go into the program and figure out what is actually causing my symptoms and how we can fix that, then I have really high hopes of getting better, feeling better, and I'm really excited for that. So if anybody else is having these kind of issues, I know that gut health is not something that, we talk about a lot, but it's starting to be like a buzzword like type of thing. Everybody has their own opinions and stuff, and I'm gonna try this out and see if it works for me, and I hope that it does. And if you want to look into it as well, if you found this video because you're having similar issues, then like I said, please look into the resources down below, see if this is something you want to try. or whatnot. So if you have any questions, you can put down in the comments down below. You can also message me on my Instagram, dr.annacwatson. That's because I am a doctor of physical therapy, not because I am an MD or DO, just in case you are not familiar with me or my channel. So anyway, that is gonna be it for this video. Thanks so much for being here and for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and be sure to watch the other videos in this playlist as I go through my gut journey. So until next time.